There is nothing wrong with clinging to your values and your property. Jews for the Preservation of Firearms Ownership offers year-end advice. The notion that prayer, or the Second Amendment, is ever improper borders on tyranny. Politicians have no delegated or legitimate power to close down either one. Our founders armed you to help prevent this. In the coming weeks, months, and more, you will be bombarded with what used to be recognized as mass brainwashing, regardless of whether either party has total control, designed to make you believe guns are bad and evil, though they are not. Only people on government payrolls should have them. It won't be framed that way, of course, but that's the false message. Police, military, FBI, secret agents, DEA, ICE, BATFE, the whole alphabet soup are all okay. You're safer if they have all these dangerous, nasty guns and you don't. You never had a right to arms anyways, or good arms, or military quality arms, or arms that could provide a balance of power, the very reason the Second Amendment exists. This, despite the evidence of your own eyes, namely gun stores, in every hamlet, and a heavily armed populace that got that way somehow in 2.5 centuries with no government paperwork until lately. If we tell you to give up this gun or that gun, big ones, small ones, black ones, long ones, high suds, low suds, no suds, some suds, you will obey, or the chance of you catching the virus will get worse, and we'll take your money through legal problems. If we jail you for gun something, you won't even get the mask, wash, distance, and hydroxychloroquine, which we disavow, so obey. JPFO says, you are not some armed, privileged person to be hated. You are living the American dream and to be admired and copied. Your freedom to own the means of self-defense and resistance to tyranny sets you apart and is to be honored. It is the root of why so many people seek to emigrate here, instead of to communist dictatorships from which people flee. Even if many of our own citizens no longer recognize the value of arms, or even unwittingly seek to undermine this core significance, firearms anchor liberty. The source of tyranny is government. The founders knew this, and today our own government decays that way. Factions within it work to disarm us and discourage training, even in the proper use of arms, which would be a great benefit. Jews for the Preservation of Firearms Ownership understands what the Founding Fathers understood. We understood from the lethally hard lessons of history. All peoples, your own lineage of whatever, religious or other roots, all peoples were slaves or unfree at some point in history. It is the judicious use of force that sets humanity free. Possession of the means to exercise that force is why America is the shining city on the hill. Never forget that. Don't believe these deniers, these misanthropes, people who hate people and civilization. The America haters, the ones with such hypnotic, maniacal control over mass media. You're supposed to be free to become a privileged person with wealth beyond what you were born with, earned by your own hand, not Marxist feudal color-coded system of ranks determined by someone else for you. Work your butt off. Make something of yourself, like your peers. Don't hurt others in the process. Hint, the big secret, the more other people help you, the faster you move up. It's like freaking magic. Try it now. Start today. Help someone else and see where it gets you. Even money works. Give something. It won't hurt you. Might be hard at first. Gets easier. You get better at it. Target the giving better. Enjoy the results. Jews for the Preservation of Firearms Ownership is America's most aggressive civil rights organization dedicated to destroying the notion of gun control as any kind of credible public policy position. So-called gun control does not control guns and doesn't control criminal behavior. What it does is disarm the innocent, leaving them helpless in the face of criminals, tyrannical governments, and genocide. History repeatedly proves this fact. Founded in 1989 by Aaron Zellman as a response to the Holocaust, JPFO speaks with the moral authority and tenacious commitment of survivors of persecution and knows that surrendering your personal and family safety to government protection courts disaster. You don't have to be Jewish to fight by our side. You just have to love liberty.